A Song for Silas by Laurie Wick. Chapter 43. Silas sat aboard a southbound train, his gaze centered out the window, seeing nothing. It was actually over, and Silas was still coming to grips with the fact. Right up to the time he left, he believed Amy would come to him. There was no way she was indifferent to his love, of that he was sure, but the decision had to be hers. Even if he could force her, he wouldn't want to. The rest of the day after he had come back off the bluff had been awkward and painful. Silas found himself wishing he'd planned to leave that day. He knew Grant had figured out the problem and had compassionately said little. In the evening, not long after supper, Silas's mind was already making plans to turn in early. Grant had other ideas and asked Amy to play. Silas wouldn't have cared what the circumstances were. He would not have missed that. As Silas brought the evening to mind, he wondered if Grant had planned it all along. "Amy, will you play that song you wrote for me?" "The music is in my room," Amy answered, obviously reluctant. "Well, we'll wait for you." The men did wait, and Amy was only a few notes into the piece when Grant interrupted her. "Please sing it, Amy." She looked at her father for a long moment, and then finally nodded. Grant said to Silas, "Amy put a poem she'd written to music this summer and gave it to me when I was laid up. She titled it My Rock, Refuge and Savior." As soon as Grant had finished his explanation, Amy played and sang. Even aboard the train, the seat uncomfortable, the air stale, and the passengers noisy, Silas had only to close his eyes to see her and hear her voice. Beautiful, Silas thought, as his mind's eye brought up the images of how she looked and sounded. "Please, God," Silas prayed as the train moved down the track for home, "please be my rock, refuge, and savior, and bigger than the hurt within me, because she's not at my side."